and too many insights into it, right? And that's the feedback which I got also. So today, Harpreet also, since marketing, right, she looks after the brand, she looks after digital side of all kind of campaigns, activities, analytics part, right, consumer insights digitally. So today, Harpreet is going to talk about analytics to drive digital marketing strategies. And so over to you, Harpreet. I mean, they all know you, so I'm not getting into detail of introduction.
Yeah. So Gaurav, thanks a lot. I think, as always, it is a pleasure to be here and present something which can add value to your students. Um, I'm sure theoretically, with an expert like you around, they would have got maximum insights. And I think, if I remember correctly, you also have industry experience, so they would have got some practical insights as well. Um, with with me on board, I can try to add some value add to whatever I have learned or whatever we are practicing or to whatever we are doing. It's more like a case study which I'll talk about. Um, so since we are running short of time, I would not want to talk more on the background. I'll straight away jump to the topic. So the topic for today is analytics to drive digital marketing strategies. Like you said initially, I would want the session to be slightly interactive.
Okay. So, guys, if you have any question or if you are asked to respond to whatever Harpreet will throw at you, please raise your hand so that we can unmute you and so you can interact with us. Yeah.
Right. So I think before we deep dive into what are the strategies which can be driven using analytics, I think most important bit is what is analytics. So I'm sure everyone here in this room is aware of what is analytics. Based on quantitative information, analytics is something you look at the past data, you understand what are the historical trends, what is happening. Um, so, for example, sales is dipping, or cost is increasing, or manpower is increasing, manpower cost is rising, sales is dipping because of XYZ reason, one particular region is not behaving well, whatever discounts you are giving, they are not performing well, promotion you are doing, but still the ROI is not coming. So, this all is whatever I'm talking about is this is data. Okay. Now, analysis of this data, which is your past, you do that analysis. Present, when you do this analysis and you know that, let us say you are running commercials on TV, they are not giving you that much value. They are not giving you that much brand recall. They are not giving you that good a net promoter score. So you look at that, you look at the past trend, you analyze that, and you come to the conclusion that whatever you are doing as of now, as of current, you need to modify that. So it is again analytics and data which is helping you to control the current processes. When you do the past analysis, you do the current control, you tend to decide that for next 6 months, okay, my this, then you decide that in future I'm not going to run this ad. So for example, in social media, in Facebook, you see that that particular campaign is not doing good, conversion rate is not happening, or the click through rate is falling, or this particular campaign is not clicking well with this particular geography in this particular area, so I'm not going to do that. So you decide the future also on that. So based on the data, based on the analysis, based on the quantitative information of the past, you decide what you are going to do at present and what you are going to tweak in future. So this is what is broadly analytics. Now, what is digital analytics? Digital analytics, I'm going to read the verbatim definition. It refers to tools or platforms that analyze all this data for you. So you have Google Analytics, you have Facebook Analytics, you have LinkedIn Analytics, you have website traffic, again through Google Analytics, you have Search Console, which talk about what is not working on SEO, what is working on SEO. All these tools or platforms help you in analyzing whatever you are doing, whatever online marketing activity you are doing, whether that is performing according to your goals or not. So the goal, what is the goal of using these tools? It is, like I said, to improve the present and the future performance. Now, when I talk about performance, what do you plan to improve? You plan to either improve the customer experience, You plan to improve the brand recall. You plan to improve the net promoter score. You plan to improve you plan to improve the audience engagement. You plan to improve your subscription rate. You plan to improve your conversion your goals or conversion goals. You plan to improve your CTR. So it could be n number of things which you want to improve on. There is something called SMART. I don't know if you guys are fair or not. Whenever you have some free time, just search for SMART goals. SMART goals is something which is specific, which is measurable, which can be achieved, which is realistic, and which is timely. So analytics helps in achieving these SMART goals. So having understood what is analytics, what is digital analytics, let us look at briefly why is it important. So like I said, you manage your SMART goals, you understand your customers well. So for example, an ad copy and social media particularly, an ad copy which was written in a particular way struck more note with one particular set of audience. So to give an example, let us say your ad copy had blue color in it. That struck more a better note with male as a gender. If it had hues of pink, let us say it struck a better note with female as a gender. So it helps understanding your customers. What are the triggered points to which your customers respond to? It helps you understand performance. This particular ad is doing well at this particular time. Or if I talk about in terms of SEO, what you did on your website. So let us say you tailored the content in a particular manner. You use focus keywords and you tailored the content in a particular manner. So that is why that particular content piece is striking well. It is attracting more audience, more website visitors. Your bounce rate has reduced. Your number of your average time spent on the website has increased. So by understanding performance, you will be able to know what is working well and what is not working well. If something is not working well, then you will need to generate ideas around that. What can you do to make sure that it works well? If something works well, then you know that this is the direction you need to go in. So analytics, it helps you form the direction in which you should go. It helps you get more customers. Like I said, conversion goals are higher. So if the ad is written well, you will get more lead. And if you are able to tap into the customer journey or the marketing funnel well, so you will be able to get more customers. It helps you uncover problems. So something is not working on your website. You can look at the traffic. You can look at the bounce rate. You will know what is not working well. So you will be able to uncover problems in your overall digital marketing strategy. So broadly, if I were to say, it helps you develop a more focused approach to meet objectives. It helps you in utilization of resources and budget. So for example, if you are working on a bootstrap budget and you have to split your budget between SEO, SEM, SMM, email marketing, affiliate marketing, influencer marketing, so you know which is giving you what kind of ROI, and this is and it will give you a direction in how to split your budget. Like I said, you can measure the results and accordingly you can tweak the strategy. So let me just quickly take you to a case study. So this was one of the case studies I had prepared for another seminar, and then I will take you to the Kangaroo live example. So this case study is digital marketing strategy, again using analytics. This is for one of the sports equipment, one of the leading sports equipment manufacturer in India. So the way we once we joined the industry and at my profile, when we decide the digital marketing strategy, how we decide that is, first of all, there are business objectives. Okay, those business objectives translate into digital marketing objectives. Those digital marketing objectives are further looked at in 4 different perspectives. One is, what are the different elements which can contribute to these digital marketing objectives? What is the current status versus whatever you are doing versus the competition? What could be the goals? So for example, currently my Facebook has 10 subscribers or 10 followers, and I want them to be 1,000 by the year end. So what are the goals? And to achieve those goals, what can be planned? So let us look at what could be the business objective and strategy. It could be sales growth percentage. I've just taken one example. So activities which could be planned could be incremental distribution. So these are offline activities. I'll come to the online. This presentation is primarily for online, but I'm just setting the context. It could be in terms of number of outlets, how many distributors are there, modern trade outlets are there. How do you plan to reach those outlets? So this is incremental distribution. You could, so sales growth could be by incremental distribution. It could be, so sales growth you want to achieve, but what are the different activities you need to do? It could be in terms of increasing the distribution by hiring more salespeople, so sales for increase. It could be by offline marketing and branding activities. So you start doing channel branding, you start doing activation drives, you do mall activation, you do retail activation, you do canopy drives, you do mobile van activation, you do events, you do exhibitions. And then the other aspect is online marketing activities. It could be building the online presence, which is through a good website. It could be by use of social media, which is your SMM strategies. It could be you start running ads to generate more leads. So through SEM, which is your Google Display Ad and GSM, using the Google Display Network or using the Google Search Network. It could be working on the website so that it organically drives that traffic. So that is through SEO. And it could be through use of influencer marketing, wherein you rope in people to talk about your products. So these are few of the things which you can do in the online marketing gamut. So let us quickly go into the digital marketing objectives and strategy. It could be establishing, so these are the objectives. It could be lead generation, so sales boost is one. It could be reaching out to consumers and establishing a brand connect or a recall, which could be through SMM, social media marketing. It could be establishing credibility of the organization. So as an organization, not many people are aware of you. So setting up these channels, your social media channels, setting up these the website itself, it will help in establishing the credibility of the organization as such. Because nowadays, if you see, establishing a good online presence is like a hygiene factor. It's a must have. So doing all these things are various objectives, and you will need to strategize accordingly. So these are the various elements: SEO, SEM, SMM, influencer marketing, email marketing, and web analytics. There are others also like affiliate marketing, mobile marketing, remarketing, pragmatic marketing, or it could be doing shopping ads. There are various smaller nuances. I'm not going to touch on those because that will need another detailed session. These six themselves are big enough pillars. So let us look at one by one. So SEO. So when this particular player, he had come to me for some consulting, and they wanted me to plan a digital marketing strategy for them. Okay. Now, before one can plan any digital marketing strategy, you need to look at the data. Let me just quickly go to the last slide before I come here. It is a cyclic process. Like I just now said, it is a cyclic process. You do historical trend analysis, you formulate a strategy, you analyze the results, and then again you do the trend analysis. So you do a trend analysis, you formulate a strategy, results will come, you analyze. So it's like a cycle. So strategy, so what could the data include? Data could include website visitors, online sales, net promoter score, brand health score, conversion matrix, click-through rates, video views, subscribers, followers, bounce rate, links submitted, how many influencers you have tied up with, video views, then subscribers to your different social media channel, cohort analysis, when the customer is landing on your page, what is the journey he's following, what is the bounce rate. So all these different metrics, they need an analysis. Based on this, you decide the digital marketing strategy. Now, digital marketing, when you get that data, now the strategy can be macro or it can be micro. Macro would be focusing on these 4-5 elements, which was that I will focus more on SEO because budget is limited, right? Budget will always be limited. As marketeers, we are not revenue generators. We are cost centers. So a function which is cost center, budget is always limited. So they will give you a limited budget. Based on that budget, you need to decide how you are going to drive the whole game. So strategy can be macro. First of all, it has to be a macro level strategy. I'll focus more on SEO. I'll focus more on SEM. I'll focus more on running ads. I'll focus more on social media, or it could be a mix of all. Or if it's a new business, I will do more of display campaigns so that the brand awareness is more. I will do even your bidding strategies. Is it a CPM? Is it a CPC? If the brand awareness needs to be done, so it should be a CPM. If it is clicks, which I'm more interested in driving the traffic, so it should be CPC. If it is, I'm more more bothered about the return on ad spend, so it should be ROAS kind of strategies. So these are all micro level strategies. So macro level, you decide on, is it SEO, SEM, SMM, email marketing? What is that? How is it that I'm going to spend my 100 rupees or 100%? Once you decide that 25% I'm going to focus on SEO, then you decide what all you need to do on the SEO. Now let us look at each of these individual elements. So for example, SEO. So like I said in the last slide, which I spoke about, first of all, we always do a historical trend analysis. Now, there could be times when no historical data is present. In that case, you start from ground zero. You can look at what other players or competition is doing. So for example, let us say we as a stationery stapler manufacturer, we did not have anything. So we started from ground zero. Now, when we started from ground zero, we looked at what my other competition or what my other players in the my industry are doing. So based on that, so let us say they have so many website visitors. They have page speed less than 5 seconds. Core web vitals are really good. Meta description is written really well. Bounce rate is really low. And you have tools like SEM Rush, which you can access and you can see what the competition is doing. So like I said, first thing which you need to look at is your historical data. So for example, when this player came to me, I was looking at, this is through website grader. What is the page speed? What is the image size? Meta descriptions are there or not? What is the overall performance in mobile security, etc., etc. Once you look at that, then you decide that this all needs to be fixed. So for example, page requests currently are 46, they should be less than 30. So you combine the files so that your number of HTTP requests go down. So in that, you can also look at, is it HTTP2 or HTTP1? What is the hosting which has been taken? Do you need to upgrade the hosting? Is the site secure? HTTPS is there or not there? Is there use of CDN? If CDN has been used, are they also using image CDNs? Have the image sizes been specified? What is the page speed? What can be done? So when you run these reports, okay, coming back to the topic, when you run these reports, you are doing nothing but you are doing analytics. You are understanding the data to formulate the strategy which you will be doing on the website. Meta descriptions are written, not written. So once you see this, you decide that, okay, I need to write the meta description. I need to work on the page speed. I need to work on getting a secure certificate. Currently, I don't have. I need to mimify my images. I need to mimify my JavaScript. So these are the different things which you look at, which is the form of the micro level strategy which you formulate once you look at the data. Like I said, from tools such as SEM Rush, you can see that what is the organic traffic or what is the organic search traffic, how it has been progressing. You also get a report where you can compare domains. You can get a report on backlinks. I'm sure you guys are aware of what are backlinks. So backlinks is basically how many other authorized or sites which are having high domain authority, how many of those are giving you a follow-up link. So these are backlinks. So large number of backlinks from good authorized sites or sites which have high domain authority, that always works well in your favor, because that just tells Google that if there are so many backlinks, that means your website is credible. So it will just give you points. I'm sure you guys are aware of how SEO works, so I'm not going to get into those details. This is the competition analysis. So for example, Coxton was the player. So these are competition. So Stag is one, Stiga Sports is another one. So based on this analysis, you formulate the strategy. So these are the strategic points. So broad activities which are to be done. You need to do on-page optimization. We just saw that speed is bad, image optimization needs to be done, website structure needs to be improved, architecture needs to be looked at, robots.txt file is not there, sitemap is not there, meta descriptions need to be written, HTTPS or security needs to be done. You need to get more blogs written which are engaging for the readers. You need to establish thought leadership. Off-page optimization you need to work on. You need to work on link building. We saw that there are 318 links, but if you look at the competition, there are 2,15,000 links, 96,000 links, and you just have 318. So this is another area where you need to work at. So like I said, and then there are these articles which were submitted, these articles which talk about which are the top sports good companies in India. So this particular player is not there in any of these articles. So you know that these are the things which you need to work on off page. These are the things you need to work on page. So the point which I'm trying to say is by looking at the data, you are formulating the strategy, what you need to do with the website, what you need to do on page, what you need to do off page. So you are strategizing in SEO that these are the things I need to do so that my performance improves. And once you have done these, you again go to Search Console to see whether these parameters have been improved or not. You go to Search Console, you go to Website Grader, and you see whether your website has improved or not. You start seeing whether the website is at what rank when you search for a particular keyword. So this is on SEO bit. This is how you strategize on SEO. In SEM, SEM, like you must be aware of, SEM is basically running ads on Google Display Network and Search Network. So here also, if you have data, good. If you don't have data, you search, you look at, again, this is a screenshot of SEM Rush. So if you see that display advertisement is not there for this particular client. But if you look at, if you type that particular product on which this Coxton deals in, you see that there are ads run by the competition. So there is Tag, there is again Stag, then there is Butterfly, then there is Donic. These are all competition for this particular client. So more shopping ads are done by the competition, whereas Coxton is not running any. So you know that there is an opportunity which is being lost. So what is a missed opportunity? We know that there are 7 spots of ads in search engine result page which are targeted by competition. There are 10 organic results and there are 7 spots of ads. Now you are not running any ad. Coxton is not running any ad. These ads are run by the competition. So when the competition is running ads, you are vying for more attention of the end consumer. They will come and click on the ads. They will be generating more leads. So no ads means what? It means lack of brand awareness. It means lack of leads. It means lack of remarketing opportunities. It means lack of online sales. So these are all 4 or 5 points on which you miss on. So here again, when you do this analysis, you know that these are the opportunities which I am missing on. So then you formulate the strategy that I need to work on SEM. I need to start running ads. I need to start seeing the results, and then maybe I need to tweak, but that comes later. So first insight which comes is that I'm not running ads. I'm missing on leads. So looking at the data, you decide that you need to start investing in SEM. So this is submission to third-party articles to establish brand awareness and authority. So these are different, I will say, competition for Coxton, and they are running ads and they are doing a lot of stuff to generate that kind of buzz and leads. Now, why do we need SEM? First point, like I said, is to generate brand awareness. Second, I said to generate those leads. Why do we need those leads? Now, this is the scenario for online retail sales. India is one of the largest growing market globally in e-commerce. This is the data by Forrester. And online shoppers in India in 2016 was about 60 million. It is estimated to go to up to about 475 million by 2026. So there is a huge opportunity. Now, in order to tap this audience, we need to generate leads. And leads can be generated through remarketing, through running ads, whether it is on display network or it is on search network. So then you decide what are the different kind of ad formats which you want to work on. No, so let us say you decide the ad format is going to be a GIF or the ad format is going to be a static banner image. and you see the CTR, you see whether it is driving traffic, you see what is the conversion which is happening. And so you run 3-4 ads, you do A/B testing, and based upon whatever is the performance, you decide that I'm going to go with an A format or a B format. So this is all looking at the data, doing the analysis, and driving the strategy even up to this granular level. The third important pillar is SMM. So let us look at how data analytics can help there. Now, SMM or the social media, these are the most popular social media channels. If you look, Facebook is extremely popular. These are ranked by number of active users in millions. Then we have YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter.
Shall I give you a breather?
Yeah,
okay.
we can.
Yeah. Okay. So any questions, guys? Please do raise your hand. We can unmute you, and so you can be live on our channel, and also you can ask whatever question is there in your mind. So, right? I mean, look, these are all learning times. I know you have a basic understanding. I think a more than basic understanding of what Harpreet is talking about, right? And how everything is fitting in is what this whole purpose of this session is. So do ask question, Abhinav, right? Aman, Ankit, right? Please do ask questions and raise your hands whenever you feel like interacting. So we won't keep this long till 6 o'clock. We'll try to finish it wrap it up by 5:30. So just use this opportunity to interact with her. Maybe she gives you placement. I don't know. She hasn't got back to me. Please do speak to your HR. So before
Yeah, I will.
Yeah. Okay. Carry on.
Yeah. So should we wait? Are there any questions?
No, carry on. They'll raise hands. I'll stop them.
Okay, perfect. So see, social media marketing key objectives could be brand awareness, because you are reaching out to, so there is you can do the targeting of the audience by their age, by their gender, by their demographics, even by their interests, which location they are from, whether they are in market, affinity. There are so many. The Facebook social media marketing has really evolved. When I started learning it, I think it was in 2014-15. It was not this evolved. Now they have very in-depth analytics also, whether it is for posts, whether it is for the entire page. So what could be the different business objectives? It could be brand awareness, it could be lead generation, it could be just simply listening and monitoring. So there are tools like Radian 6. You can install those tools and you can listen to what your audience is talking about. So for example, you ran a campaign, and whether that campaign is performing well, if what is the sentiment, there is a sentiment analytics also, where you look in at the comments and you decide whether it is a positive or a negative or a neutral kind of sentiment in the market. So like I said, broadly it is listening and monitoring. So this is, so again, going back, see, I'll try to reiterate the same thing again and again. You look at the data, and then you decide what is it that going to do. So for example, these are five competitors, Coxton, Stiga, Stag, Butterfly, and Spartan. You look at how their performance is on Facebook, on Insta, on LinkedIn, and on Twitter. So let us look at Facebook. So for example, my this particular client, Coxton, he just had 1400, whereas Stiga is sitting at 85,000, Butterfly is sitting at 76,000. Also, along with this, you need to look at they have been active since when. So for example, 85,000 since, let us say, 2018. So it has been 3 years. Whereas 1434, it could be since 2010. So it's in 10 years, you have garnered only 1400 subscribers, whereas Stiga has garnered 85,000 in just 3 years. So you need to look at these nuances to decide whether what you are doing in Facebook is up to the mark or not. Maybe you need to revise your content. Maybe you need to target the audience in another way. Maybe you need to develop more engaging posts. Similar thing goes for Instagram, LinkedIn, and Twitter. Another thing which I want to talk about here is, since we are talking about strategy, is to understand that audience is really different on all these platforms. So for example, in Instagram, the audience is really young. In Pinterest, it is more about women and more about pictographic. In Facebook, it is the masses. LinkedIn, it is more to do with professional network. Twitter, it is more like an intellectual where uh, there are conversations around movement marketing. There are conversations about what is happening currently in the trend. So these are all channels which are different. They all behave differently. One strategy is not going to fit all of them. So how do you decide the strategy? So you decide the strategy based upon the performance of whatever is happening in terms of data. You decide the strategy on based upon the channel nature, inherent nature as such. You decide the strategy based upon where your target audience is present. Is it more on Facebook versus Twitter, or is it Insta, or is it LinkedIn? You devise your strategy based upon your organizational strategy. So let us say your product itself is something which talks to professionals, so you will want to be more on LinkedIn. Your product is such that which talks more to women, or youngsters, so then it could be Instagram or Pinterest. So all these things you need to decide. If you remember, the first slide which I showed to you about was, so there is business strategy, then there is digital marketing strategy, then you decide the micro level strategy, and then you, so the macro level, and then you go into the micro level. So these are the top these are 10 steps framework for creating a social media strategy. So you audit your current social media presence. You outline your objectives. I'm going to read it verbatim. Research your audience. So your audience, more is male, more is female. What are the particular typical interests they have? Are they sitting more in US? Are they sitting more in India? What is the timeline when they are available? What is the time when you should run the ad? If I run the ad at 6 p.m. on Wednesday, is that performing well? Or if I run the ad at 2 a.m. on Sunday, is that performing well? So these are different things. When you look at the Facebook analytics, you decide how your audience is behaving. Then you choose your platforms. Like I said, these different 4 platforms, they behave differently. So you decide which platform you want to stick to, which platform you want to divert your budget to. You set your budget accordingly. Then once all these 1 to 6 steps are set, then you decide a content plan. So this is my month. This is how it is going to look like. There are 4 festive days. There are 2 national holidays. There are 6 products, 6 days on which I'm going to talk about my product, and remaining 2 days I will talk about information about my product. So this is how you decide your content plan, and you devise your calendar, and you determine your posting schedule. And once you have framed the content, you have decided your posting schedule, then you do a tracking and evaluation of different metrics of how these posts are performing. Now, I was talking about influencer marketing. So influencer marketing is you deploy influencers to speak for the brand. Influencer marketing is basically brand ambassadors. These could be celebrities who help in creating content. So, for example, in our brand, in our portfolio of brands, Kohe, which is my FMCD brand, it is a knife brand. We tap on different chefs. We tap on homemakers. We tap on uh, channels of the like of Heber's Kitchen. There are a lot of those channels which mushroomed in lockdown, which help in cooking. We tapped those particular channels who have a lot of followers in helping us in creating content, because when we rope in influencers, they are able to engage with the audience well. They could be talking about how to take care of your knives, they could be talking about the recipes, they could be talking about different dishes. So this example I'm giving you because you rope in these influencers. These influencers are people who have already established their credibility in the market as brand ambassadors. And once you rope in these people, they add more credibility to you as a company and to your products. So that is why influencer marketing is very important. So, for example, if my product was, let us say, a tennis racket or a tennis ball, then Sania Mirza talking about it will add value. If my product is a knife, then maybe somebody of the like of Ranveer Barar or Sanjeev Kapoor, he will add more value. So influencer marketing always helps in driving engagement with the audience. So this is also part of the strategy when you decide that this amount of budget I'm going to allocate to this particular thing. Then it is about web analytics. So like I said, everything, whatever we have done till now, so SEO, SEM, SMM, web analytics, um, all of this is important only because you can measure it. Like I said in the beginning itself, your goal should be smart. So you should be able to measure whatever you are doing. Thankfully, for SEO, we have Search Console, we have Web Analytics. For SEM, we have analytics on most of these channels. So Facebook is there, LinkedIn is there, Twitter is there. For SEM, uh, we have campaign performance matrix, which you can look at. And let us say if you were doing e-commerce, so the thing which you will measure is whether your sales has gone up or not. If it is your objective is lead generation, it could be contact information for sales prospects, whether you are getting those lead forms or not. If it is you are just publishing content, if the objective is to publish content, you will look at whether the ads are shown to visitors or not. If your objective is branding, you will look at what is the increment in my net promoter score, what is the increment in the brand health report. I will come to this, or let me just 1 second. Let me just quickly take you to.
Meanwhile, one of them have a question.
Yeah.
And they say, I mean, basically, Dipyan is asking that these were the case study, I think, so had some 2018 data. Any changes in SMM after COVID-19 scenarios?
See, who was the person who asked this?
Dipyan.
Dipyan, see, definitely there would be some data, unfortunately, due to lack of time, and I was not able to pull out the exact metrics, but definitely post COVID, there would have been some updation or re-evaluation of the data. That is one. Second thing is most of these players, see, Forrester, if you look at the data which I was showing you, it was published in 2018, and the data was for a period of 1 second. The data was for the period of 2016 to 2021. So although this data is slightly dated, I'm sure there would have been some updation in the data. So why don't you do one thing? Why don't you search for the data and update me also?
All right, yeah. So that goes for Dipyan. Work.
Yeah.
All right, carry on.
So let me just take you guys to what we do in KGOC. Okay, again, I'll just take a Kohe as an example. So this is the social media strategy. Okay. In brand awareness, we look at our competition. We look at the number of Facebook likes, how they are performing. We set our own targets. In Facebook, it could be Facebook page likes. In Twitter, followers. Instagram, followers. YouTube, subscribers. In Facebook, we look at what is the total engagement, how it has been progressing month on month. What are the total number of posts which we are doing? What is the reach? What are the number of impressions we are generating? What are the total number of clicks on these ads, which are leading to either website traffic or whatever my goal is. Then in terms of Twitter, again, we have total engagement, total number of posts, what are the impressions which I'm garnering, what are the number of profile visits which I'm generating. In Instagram, it could be in total engagement, in reach, impressions, total posts. What has been the total UGC which has been generated, user generated content. See, in Instagram and I think in Facebook and in Twitter also, if my user is very well engaged with me, they will generate content for us. So what has been, at least I like to keep a track of what has been the user generated content, how it has progressed. In YouTube, again, it is subscribers. What are the total number of videos I am posting? What are the shares, views, impressions, dislikes, likes, which I am getting? So this is social media. So like I said, we look at the data to decide the strategy which I am going to do. Now, strategy could be in terms of what are my focus products? What is my focus geography? What is that I'm planning to do in terms of social media? It could be I will introduce a new group. I will engage with audience. I will run campaigns. Campaigns will be more to do with informational content. It could be more to do with products. So I decide all that strategy based on the data. Then the second bit is on website metrics. So what are the important measures which we look at in terms of website? It could be overall traffic. It could be total sessions. It could be average time on page. What is the bounce rate? What are the pages viewed per session? Acquisition is happening. So I am generating more traffic, or I am generating traffic on the website. But is it through referral? Is it through organic? Is it through by GD and CPC, by running ads? So for example, when I look at this, and if I see that I am generating more traffic by running ads, so initially that should not alarm me, because nobody knows my website. So my strategy will be that I run more GD and ads. But down the line, my target should be that my organic search should increase. So my strategy will be to work on more SEO so that organic search increases. Then these are the different SEO metrics. What is my site rank? Has it improved or not? What are the total number of impressions? How many total queries are getting generated? What are the top 10 keywords which I am ranking for? What is my SEO score through tools like Site Checkup? What have been the total number of submitted links? Out of the total submitted links, how many have been indexed? What is the scope of improvement? If I am currently ranking for top 10 keywords, what is my rank? Is it in top 10? Is it in top 20? If it is in top 20, then what should be done to come in top 10? Are my meta tags or H1 tags in place? Is my meta description in place? What does the website speed look like? So these are the different things we look in SEO. Then I also like to keep a track on what are the number of leads which have been generated. So number of comments. So like I was saying, this is online relationship management as well as social listening and monitoring. So what are the number of comments which have been generated? How many have been positive? How many have been negative? How many have been neutral?
So
Yeah.
I have one question. I'm looking for more. Please raise your hands, because I think so there are a lot of questions to be asked. The bigger one is that yes, we have metrics. Yes, we have data coming in. Yes, we have very specific data coming in. Right? Yes, we need to correlate one data with another to to arrive at certain, right, to interpret it in a better way. Now the biggest challenge, I mean, from the student point of view, is that all this is thrown in front of me. I mean, all your Excel sheets basically. Right? If I see it, can I make a sense of it? Okay, that's first thing. All right, so I've studied all these, so I know by definition, what does SEO score, backlinks, all this means. Now, okay, so I understand. Now the second stage is, so what do I do? What is the solution? I mean, what is this data telling? I know this data in isolation, I'm bounce rate in isolation. But what am I supposed to do? I know 45% bounce rate, 35% bounce rate. From student perspective, because that is what they are not exposed to, and that's why you are here, right? So if you can explain, I mean, I think so you are making, you are doing it, right? But that is the biggest challenge, I think so, with all of my audience who are here, how do we do it? I mean, is your digital marketing agency, does it, I mean, you raise certain, red flags, right? And then they tell you, okay, if we do this, and how do you see that data correlate? Obviously, with experience, it comes, right? And I think so, it will come only with experience, because, knowing it through our kind of classes does not help, right? So if you want to comment on this, that what, otherwise it becomes Greek for, okay, यार इतना data है, मुझे करना क्या है इसका? मेरे को नहीं पता मुझे क्या करना, right? मेरे हाथ में कुल्हाड़ी देती है, मुझे नहीं पता इसको चलाना कैसे, that kind of thing. So what do I do with it? Right? And that should, I think that struggle is there with everybody, and even a Flipkart will, otherwise everybody would have been, all successful.
Right. So I think I have been trying to answer this question only from the beginning, that when you know the theory, so for example, you know that your bounce rate is really high, okay, in terms of, let us talk in terms of SEO only. When I know that, so let us talk in this, these are the website metrics. I know that my overall traffic is going up. Now you look at it month on month. You look at it month on month and you see how the traffic is progressing. Okay. If you see a dip in any particular month, you need to raise a flag. You look at the total number of sessions. Total number of sessions is basically uh, how many so that is your overall traffic. Total users is basically how many people are there. Total sessions is how many times the website has been visited. So you look at these metrics and you see whether the progression, and then you decide what is going to be the strategy. So for example, I'll answer the question on bounce rate. Let us say your website is a blog. Okay, your website is a content related blog where you want people to explore the website. In that case, if the bounce rate is very high, so for example it is 82%, 100%, 90%, then you need to know whether you need to rewrite the content, whether you need to generate that kind of interest in the content. If your website is bank related, if your website is mobile banking, so your bounce rate will be very high, because you know that the objective of the website is that person should come to one particular page, get whatever he wants and go out. You look at the average time on the page. Average time on the page is very high, which means, and if it is a content related website, that means people are interested in reading whatever you are writing. So these metrics will define what your strategy is. If your acquisition majority of the times is through GDN or CPC, which means that you are spending money to get the traffic, you would want people to come to your website without you spending money, which means your organic search has to go high. For organic search to go high, you need to work on SEO. Now, how will you work on SEO? So you look at what is your site ranking. Currently, my site is ranking 80. So you need to work on meta title. You need to combine theory with practical to achieve those results. Practical is not very different than whatever we have learned in class, Gaurav. It is just the application of whatever concepts we have learned. You look at the data, you try to prick holes in your strategy, you try to formulate a strategy by looking at your concepts only. Does that answer the question?
Yeah, I think so. Dipyan also has a question that how do we convince senior management based on these data collected and insights gathered? What marketing strategy basically I think so we should adapt.
You should always look at the competition. If your company is somebody new to digital marketing and you don't have any historical data to show what you want to do, look at what competition is doing. Now when I say look at what competition is doing, so for example, um, let us say for example you are Haldiram, okay, and or let us say you are Om Sweets.
No, Amity.
Amity, okay. So let us say
I'll tell you why I said Amity, because the companies I have worked before this, right, and many other universities, especially the private ones, they follow the Amity model.
Right.
Yeah. So because that's easier one, no? Because कोई मेरे से बहुत आगे जा रहा है, so I follow, at least I'm on track, right?
Right.
But doesn't that limit your own?
No, Gaurav, in case there is no strategy, see, there are always stages in your development. One stage is when you don't have any ground. So then you look at competition and you lay a strategy from stage A to stage B. Once you reach at stage B and you know that you are amongst the top 10, then your next target should be to be amongst the top 5. Then you look at top 3 players and you see that what these top 3 players are doing.
Absolutely.
Once you achieve top level, then you need to establish your category excellence, that I am going to do the best in whatever I am doing in digital marketing. So then you innovate, you become the thought leader, you become the industry leader. Whatever you do, others will follow. So it has to be step by step. So answering Dipen's question, I think that guy's name was Dipen, right? Dipen. So to convince the management, if there is no history, so then you look at top 5 competitors, because any business which is existing in India or abroad will always have competition, until and unless you are a niche player. If you are a niche player, you are so niche that there is no competition, then whatever you do is new. But 99.9999% all businesses have competition. And when you have competition, you can look at the best practices, what they are doing, what you can do to showcase the results to the management. If that answers the question, should we move forward?
Yeah, I think so, because I'm answering what Divyan next question is. So
Okay.
you carry on.
So, like I said, so this is social media monitoring and listening. How many leads, what is positive, what is negative, what is neutral. Then you look at influencer marketing. Who did you engage with? How many views were generated? How many followers were there? How many people saw your ad? And then you look at the brand promoter score or the net promoter score and the brand health, brand awareness score to see whether whatever you have spent money on these influencers has that resulted in that kind of result or not. Then you have GDN and GSN campaigns. So you look at whatever you are running, whether it is a remarketing campaign or it is a customer intent. You look at the impressions, you look at clicks, you look at CTR versus VTR. You look at, so this is the result. So whatever you are doing, so how many impressions are generated? So how many people have viewed your ad? How many people clicked on that ad? And when people clicked on that ad, how many website visits were generated? What is the cost you have spent? What is the average CPC per click, cost per click? What is the CTR which is getting generated? You look at this data, and let us say every month you are doing. So you look at all this data to decide on the strategy, whether what kind of ad you want to run, whether that is generating that kind of result or not. This is GDN, and then there is GSN. Okay, now this is another important thing which we need to look at. This is top content. So in Facebook, and this is what I do as a best practice, we look.
Ma'am, unmute yourself, please.
Okay. So, okay. So, for example, in Facebook, so let us say I made, I posted 12 posts, and out of those 12 posts, I look at which is the best performing post month on month. And when I say best performing post in terms of impressions, in terms of reactions, read, shares, comments, and if a particular post is performing well, was it an educational post? Was it a wish post? Was it a contest? Was it a video post? It just gives me more direction strategically that such type of content or such type of posts are doing well, and this is what I should be planning for. So this kind of analysis I do for Facebook, I do for different social media channels to decide my content strategy. I think this is what we do. So I am done from my side. Gaurav, are there any questions which I can take up?
Yeah, okay. Guys, you can now have another, I think, 15 minutes to ask questions. Please raise your hand so that I can.
Gaurav, we will need to wrap up by 5:20. 5:20.
5:20. Okay, so 5 minutes. Any questions? If you have, please raise your hand so we can unmute. Or you want to type in the chat box, please. You're most welcome. Yes, guys. No questions? I'm surprised. Should I take names? Vanshika, Bina, Saksham, Shriya, Tejal, Vaibhav, Ramni, Prakhar, Mannat. I mean, you guys are yourself bloggers and YouTube channel.
So either it was all clear. See, I always have this
channel, blogs, and also I think so. It makes more sense.
Right, and I was going to say that either it was all it all made sense, or nothing made sense.
No, it all made sense. I mean, I'm sure. No, it was very good. The only thing I'm looking, I mean, these guys have been taking some 5-6 classes, so I understand where they are, and
And
This
I
is-
also understand this is the last class.
This is Thursday is the last day for
Okay.
this semester, and actually their B school undergrad also. Last class will be on Thursday.
So best of luck to all of you guys.
Yeah. So Vanshika is saying it made sense, which is okay. So Vanshika runs her own podcast. So Vanshika, if you want to talk to Harpreet, you can quickly raise your hand and we can unmute you. So if you have any questions. Otherwise, shall we let it go? Pass it for today. This is again my 5th class too. So
Okay.
she left also. Anyone? Vipin Bansal, Abhinav, Abhishek, Aditya, Shrishti. Nobody. Anyways, so I think so. Yeah, I have asked you those relevant, and thank Dipyan for asking certain questions. We do cover brand and advanced digital marketing where they have learned SEOs and SEM, right? How they can apply. They've done projects on web optimization and Google Analytics. So this semester we had a project on Google Analytics for them. So they have not only Google Analytics, but also they did their social media analytics. So people who have their YouTube channels and Instagram accounts, and which are very popular. Some of people like Mannat, who's a tennis star as well as does a fashion blog, has some good endorsements also. Right. So money
Right.
flowing in from the kind of activities these people are doing. So they're pretty smart. But then it's okay. I think so. It all made sense. That's what Vanshika said. So I take Vanshika's word for it. So thank you very much. I won't hold you for. Are you going to work late or?
Yeah. So I have office till 6:30. I have another meeting coming up.
Okay. So I'll free you. Right. And thank you very much for taking
Sure.
out time and covering this all. And I told you we have to plan something big.
Sure.
One
So
day
I
I'll
think
stay with you, but let's do something together.
sure. I'll look forward to that. It could be a project, and like we were discussing, it could be frequent sessions also.
Absolutely. Now these guys will be. I mean, they won't be back. This lot of students, but the new the ones in second year will graduate to the third year by July. So that's what we are looking for. Thank you
Right.
very much, Harpreet. Pleasure having
Sure.
you. Every time you have been here, right? It's been very insightful sessions.
Sure. Thanks, Gaurav. Your encouragement does help.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks. Take care. Bye-bye.
Okay. You too.
Bye. Bye.
Masood, we can off the session now. So.
Okay, sir.